The numbers that have crossed the southern border during the Biden presidency, somewhere between 5.5 and 6 million people. It's incredible.
Yeah, and that some of the estimates are even higher because those are, we're talking about encounters, but we also know that there's also a bunch of, folks that aren't encountered with Border Patrol that are sneaking through the dead of night, wearing camouflage, and essentially.
I've seen this in Arizona.
And so I mean, look, when you think about it, I mean, 6 million people just in the 3 years Joe Biden's been president. Let's assume that number's that low. I mean, we're talking about the population of 3 or 4 U.S. states combined, some of the states. And so this is a record amount of money. It's costing us, and not only in terms financially, whether it's with education, whether it's with schools, whether it's with healthcare, but also what I worry about is it's empowering the drug cartels. And the drug cartels are making record profits. I worry that Mexico is on the brink of becoming a failed state. And even just today, I saw one of the Biden officials talking about that they finally reached some deal with China to stop them from 12 precursor chemicals coming into Mexico. And I was so furious because I thought to myself, it's 3 years in. It's the leading cause of death amongst people 18 to 49 in the United States. And 3 years in, you're finally going to talk to China about it? Yeah. But not only that, I mean, we're talking about not only those costs in human lives and human treasure, but I think, as you mentioned, throughout Europe, you're seeing folks that are worried that when someone's first act, and look, I'm a first-generation American, but when your first act is, breaking the law and not willing to assimilate into the culture, I mean, I think it undermines...
I think your family's quite well assimilated, isn't it?
So, well, no, but I bring this up, Nigel, and I'm not trying to be a little sensitive, but I'll tell you what, when I issued an opinion, I was the first Attorney General in the United States, issued an opinion that said what was going on at our southern border constituted an invasion. I was attacked mercilessly by, and you know what this is like, by the left, by the mainstream media in America saying that it was racist and how dare I, and I was being hypocritical. And the reality is now you even have Democratic governors saying we should call out the National Guard and do something.
Well, I mean, even the mayor of New York is saying we can't cope. This is wholly unsustainable. It's a disaster.
Well, here's one thing I think that should happen. The next Attorney General of the United States should start prosecuting these mayors and these governors that have created sanctuary cities, sanctuary harbors under Title 8 of the U.S. Code, Section 1324. There was a case just last year at the U.S. Supreme Court that said it upheld the constitutionality of a statute in the United States that said if you are harboring, encouraging, soliciting immigration, you can be guilty of a federal crime. So how is it that the mayor of New York or the mayor of Chicago, when they are providing housing and encouraging people to come there, saying you're a sanctuary city, refusing to let law enforcement work with federal officials to arrest people that are in the country illegally? That, to me, is the very definition of aiding and abetting illegal immigration.
Now, that will be something to watch if we do get a strong Attorney General following the next general election.